All right, what's poppin', my people? Yo, I just got to hit y'all with some crazy news, and it's dope news, actually. Your boy Tyler Perry apparently has bought BET. Yes, you heard it right. BET, the famous film company that has been around for decades. Look like Tyler Perry just bought it. That's crazy. I'm really happy for him, though, because it's not easy owning something like that, especially being at a boss level as he is. You know, he's such a dynamic guy, and he's been doing so much for people, himself, and everybody, just being such a dope guy. So I'm really happy for him, to tell you the truth. I'm happy for everybody involved because I know that means he's going to give people jobs. And don't we all need jobs as black people, especially in the film world, which you know I'm in. So I don't know Tyler Perry personally, but I know some of y'all probably met him or know about him. And when you see his name up there, you go making sure that you check out the stuff regarding him. You know what I'm saying? So I never met Tyler Perry, but definitely a fan of the bro. And I'm happy to see what he did, you know? Big old Tyler Perry status. I'm grabbing me a brewski. I know y'all probably pop a brewski every once in a while. But yeah, I'm just kind of putting some limes in a cut on it. But yeah, so it's like, so what does that mean? Tyler Perry owned BET. This is the first time a black person has owned a network, and it's actually a formidable network. It's not like, you know, something that we haven't heard of or hasn't had its respect in the game. Somebody as big as Tyler Perry owning that network means that he can just produce at his own level. Don't know if it ultimately means he's going to have to answer to you know who, but hopefully it don't mean that. Hopefully it means he can answer to himself and continue to do what he does. And so from my quick little observation of everything, they saying that he actually paid $400 million for this particular network, and I'm hoping that that's true, because if that is, that's a lot of money, and I know he gonna make it back because you know he know how to do content. That's one thing about old Tyler that you got to give him respect for. He knows how to do content. So that means that you can guarantee that if you listen to him and watch his shows, you're going to be entertained. So just really dope about that, man. I'm happy that a black man got something. And I think he got a kid now. So at the least he can pass it down to his kid. Plus he always got a way he can keep his kid eating. You know, being, you know, coming home and having stuff, you know what I'm saying? So just a really good thing for that guy, old Tyler Perry. So I'm just basically chilling. I'm gonna step outside for a minute and have me a brewski. Oh wait, y'all wanna come with me? All right, cool, come on. Come rock with me real quick. I'm gonna go and chill in the backyard just for a few minutes. Not even long. Just so we could talk about Tyler Perry. Plus it'll give us a little movement. And sometimes I don't do that much movement. I be sitting still. And I want y'all to have a little movement with me. The weather ain't that bad, but it's actually colder than it normally is in Chicago. It's actually a little chillier. Normally it's not this cold at this time frame, but welcome to the city. Uh-oh, let's change that color. Wow, look at that. Just one tap. These apps are getting so strong, they can actually just maneuver with the tap, you know. So I'm gonna set you up on the table so y'all can hang out up here with me. All right. Let's bring this down right here, and bam. I think we're in a crew. We're a crew. We're officially a crew. So let's do that. So yeah, man. Congratulations to Tyler Perry, his family, and I think all the people that he know and has ever did work with him is probably happy too, because I know they thinking like, well, shit, if Tyler got this, he gonna hire me. He gonna give me a job. He gonna give me some work. I hope he do, because people need it. It's like it's time that motherfuckers get work and actually do their thing. You know, I've been an independent producer, director since my 20s, and I just turned 50 years old a couple of days ago. And I've never stopped producing. I've never stopped creating on my own. I've never stopped making. Even if it hasn't been something that you heard of or you know of, I'm always making. And for me, I hit up the tourists in my city, and that's how I get my sales, because they always there. All right, yeah, that was a really quick second. Yeah, so I see the guy Tyler doing that $400 million. He worked his ass off to get to that money because, he was doing contracts with Oprah. He was doing contract with all these channels and these networks, which allowed him to accumulate amount of wealth so he could own his own thing. And that just shows you that his tenacity is really heavy. Like the guy, he kept to it. And even though people were probably talking shit about him and dissing him in different kind of ways, he was able to stay right in it. And so BET got a lot of arms, because that means he's going to own VH1. He's going to own other elements to the company that we don't really know about right now. Then he'll probably be able to introduce more stuff to it. And BET, when I was coming up, that really was the network for us, because before that, there was not a lot of black entertainment on TV. You could see sitcoms, but we knew sitcoms wasn't controlled or written by black people like that, so we had to just watch it. It was entertainment. Look all the way right now in the future, and we don't have to watch just white people on TV or just pay attention to their networks. That's not even the way things go no more. You got Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. There's so many ways to watch entertainment. You don't have to just watch that. And then you got independent production companies like myself, Hood Films, and other people that's around the world. You can see Roku, you can see Tubi. It's just a lot more entertainment. Not so many people are independent, and that's really the trick. Sometimes you want to be independent so that you can be the one who determine or dictate your pace. You don't want to be where a position where somebody else can tell you what to do or what to produce. And that's where Tyler Perry wins, because he was able to take it to such a high level that can't nobody tell him what to do. And that's really the end of, that's really the where a lot of us have been trying to live our lives, where nobody can tell you what to do or what to produce, how to create what you need to create. That's incredibly important. So Tyler Perry, being an independent artist, he made himself a lane where he don't have to answer to nobody. And that right there is critical. Nobody really got that. Nobody has creative control like that. Nobody. To get money, you got to listen to whoever is the person putting up the money. I think Dame Dash talk about that all the time. He said you're not a boss unless you're putting up your own money. So that lets you know if a person is really a boss if they're not putting up their own money, according to Dame Dash. In a lot of ways, that's true. If you're not putting up the money, you don't really get to dictate the pace. You don't get to tell people what to do or how to make it happen, unless they want to do it out of the kindness of their heart, which is not necessarily how things go. Not too many people are doing stuff out of the kindness of their heart. It's for money. And Tyler Perry will be able to pay people now, because if he was able to pay $400 million, as soon as he started getting the first advertising money for one of his shows, that'll pay that back. It's really a cheap price for a network. $400 million is nothing. It seemed like a lot of money, but it's really not, because you make all that money back from ads. So for instance, one producer created a thing called NFL Films, NFL Super Bowl, and NFL this. And so now, after years of that germinating, now it's $1 million of commercial, $5 million for a 30-second commercial. Who do you think make that money? NFL properties, the people who own the NFL, because you're putting money towards that company. Now the NFL is going to do a deal with a network, and they're going to say, hey, all that money we making, y'all collect that. For a 3-year deal, for a 2-year deal, we'll be in a deal with y'all, and whatever y'all collect, we split. And they say, because we got the commercials, and we got the ads, and we got people that's going to, we got obviously got the video from the project. It's just going to be a big hit. So they all getting band together to make money. That's all it takes for Tyler Perry to do, is come up with a show, or some producer come up with a show. They put it on the Tyler Perry network at a certain time frame, either it's once a year like the Oscars, or it's once every few weeks or months like a sport. and all that money comes right to him. And imagine the NBA being an NBA game where mostly controlled by black people coming there. That's all it takes for him to change that, and somebody like that come along and give him a show and be on his network, and that's make that money back in seconds. So it's really a win for black people because I wouldn't say it's a form of reparations, but I see it's really a win because he's an important person in our culture that has a voice, and he's connected to the Caucasian race, meaning that they talk to him, they kick it with him. They don't mind a Tyler Perry coming to a meeting or a party. So, he got that personality where they rock with him. And, all of us don't. I mean, some of us ain't really kicking it like that. We ain't against the other race or nothing like that, but it's just like that. We don't really kick it in those realms, but especially in a place like Chicago where everything is so, what you want to say, what's the word? Like this it's a word for it, like where everybody's separate. Not gonna say discriminated, but segregated. That's the word. Everybody's segregated, so you get a chance to not really see the other races so much. Like maybe in another town, it might be somebody Asian stay next door to you, or downstairs, or a white person stay across the street, or across the hall. So it's just different towns and different cities. In our town, it's not like that. It's like if you're in a black community, it's just black people. But it's not. It's changing. Sometimes you might see other people moving into the communities, but it's not all the time. So it's just dope that Tyler Perry own that network now. $400 million is going to probably be announced officially sometime soon. It's a good look for black people. It's a good look for black America, just to see somebody have a network that he could probably hire people where voices can get out there and stories can get out there. Stories that haven't been told for hundreds of years, that haven't been able to be told. For instance, movies like Daughters of the Dust or Sankofa, films that have been kind of looked upon as bad. The Spook Who Sat by the Door, films who nobody really wanted to see because they didn't want to offend Caucasians. Then you got commercials that could be done by black people who can do their own advertisement because he probably won't have a price being so high. You know what I'm saying? So it took people like the guy who owned Soul Train and Bill Cosby and Richard Pryor, all these people, Dick Gregory, and guys before them, because it was a guy who really was wearing a dress back in the day. I can't think of his name, but it's before my time. It was in the 60s, I'm sure, 50s, 60s. And I don't know if Tyler Perry took from that guy, but at the end of the day, he was well known in the world. I forgot his name, but you all probably know who I'm talking about. He's a black dude, and he was successful as hell in that game. So it's just good to see Tyler Perry making it, and he did what he had to do to get there, and it's a blessing, and congratulations to him. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about Tyler Perry becoming the owner of BET. Is it reparations for black people? Was that a way to say, well, this reparations, so all you got to do is go get a job over here at the BET. He's hiring everybody. It's going to be a job for you, a check for you. Is that reparations? Is that a form of reparations? Or it just personally, Tyler Perry made a lot of money, so he was able to purchase something. Do you expect new voices to be coming out of BET? Do you expect new stories? What kind of stories do you expect to see coming out of BET? You can let me know. And what you want Tyler Perry to do so he can show that he's not just buying that so he can get it off the market, but he's doing something for us to make us see black people ourselves on TV and images and stories that we think should be told. So all that and more, we'll hit you up with part 2 of this if we get more information. This your boy Hood, signing off. Like and subscribe. Holla.